So I've been making YouTube videos for about 6 months now, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of share all the gear and equipment that I use when I'm actually making these videos. So this video might help someone who's looking to start their own YouTube channel and they're not kind of sure what beginner gear they should get and what's important and what's not. So let's start off with the most important part, which is the camera that I'm recording on right now. And that is the Sony a6400. So when I was starting out YouTube, I did what everyone does, and I went onto YouTube to see beginner camera. And the majority of the videos were really helpful, but they all said to start with your phone. This is very true. Like, I have the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus and it's a really good camera and it works great. But I just felt that I needed to buy an actual proper camera for me to consistently make videos. I feel like that was the push that I needed. So then I was torn between the Sony or Canon. So for beginners, there's only really the Canon M50 and then the Sony Alpha 6000 and all the way up. There's a few models. I quickly kind of decided that I wanted the Sony because the M50, you can only record for a certain amount of time, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be an issue, and I didn't want to buy the camera and then find out that I needed to record for longer. And also on the Canon, when you're recording in 4K, the autofocus isn't as good. And being a beginner, I felt like I needed autofocus to be on point because I don't really have a clue what I'm doing with the camera. Okay, so why did I pick the Sony a6400? Well, the main reason is because it kind of fell in my budget. It was the most I was willing to spend without sacrificing on the specs. So it records in 4K, the autofocus is really good. It's also weather sealed, which actually sold it to me as well, because I live in Ireland and it rains a lot and I didn't know if I'd be outside recording and stuff like that. But yeah, there's tons of videos out there and I'm definitely not an expert on cameras, so I just felt that this suited my needs for now and I think it's doing a really good job. So then connected to that, I have the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens for the Sony camera. I did a review on that a couple of weeks ago. You can check it out here. Yeah, great lens, really good in low light. Low aperture makes the background nice and blurry. Yeah, love the lens. It's really good. Then I have the camera sitting on just a regular travel tripod. I got it in my local camera shop. I think it was about €100. Does the job. Camera just sits there for talking headshots. I haven't actually traveled with it because COVID, but yeah, it does the job for what I need it. And then if I want to have the camera up on a counter or I want to hold it, I have a handheld tripod as well, which is called a switch pod. It's quite popular on YouTube. It's really nice, does the job. You can flick it out and close it again really easily and set it up on a counter or something like that, which is really good. So next up is the second most important part of the setup, and that is the microphone that I'm speaking into. I saw online that this is the most important because people are more likely to watch a video with poor quality rather than poor audio because it's too annoying to listen to poor audio. So I use the Rode Video Micro. It's a really cheap mic from Rode that costs less than €50, I think. I just have it plugged directly into the camera and I usually have it on a mic stand that I got off Amazon, really close to my mouth, either above or below. Today I have it below, just here, just out of shot. So yeah, that's the microphone I use, and as I said, I have it on a cheap mic stand and it just screws on directly, and then I got an extension cable that can plug straight into the camera. So it's a really neat setup and it works great for me because then it all loads onto the one SD card that I have in the camera and then I can edit. So the next thing I use to make these videos is the lighting, and I just got a cheap softbox off Amazon. It was €50. It comes with a stand and a light. It only has an on-off switch, so you can't really dim or adjust the brightness or anything like that, so it is quite basic, but I think it does a good job. It creates nice soft light across me, and yeah, that's it. That's the lighting. So that's it for my recording equipment. It's quite minimal, just the basics, and I would definitely say that the microphone is the most important part. So if you do want to start making videos with your iPhone, you can plug this mic straight into that phone and get good audio. And then next, I would say maybe invest in the camera and the lighting. So next I want to talk about all the gear that I use in post. So that is, once I'm done recording, what do I use to actually make the videos, edit them and upload them onto YouTube. So the main thing here would be the laptop, and that is the M1 MacBook Pro. I've made a couple of videos on it now at this stage, but yeah, I can't praise it enough. The laptop's really quick. Everything works so smoothly on it. I use Final Cut Pro to edit the videos and it's just really quick to use. I really enjoy using it. I got the 16GB RAM model just because I knew I'd be editing videos and I didn't want it to slow down, but I did go for the base storage because I feel like the extra storage is just too expensive when you can buy an SSD, which leads me on to the SSD that I have. I have a 1TB SSD from SanDisk, really good SSD, quite cheap on Amazon. I think it was like €100, and yeah, I just load all my footage onto the SSD once I'm finished and edit off that. I plug the SSD directly into the MacBook and edit that way. so it's always plugged in while I'm editing. Probably not as quick as editing directly off the MacBook, but it's really quick. I find it great. And then also, since the MacBook only has the 2 USB Type-C ports, I had to get an external hub that you plug in like a dongle, so I can plug in the SD card to then upload that footage onto my SSD. But yeah, I got this cheap dongle off Amazon. Probably wouldn't recommend it. I'd probably recommend spending a bit more money on a dongle. I feel like it's quite slow at transferring the files across, but again, it does the job. I can't complain too much. Okay, so that wraps up this video. I think I covered everything that I use to make these videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a million for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.